Hi, yogis. So this is a class that's really meant to open up the chest, the shoulders, the upper back, and get into the neck. And this was by request, and it was a pretty brilliant request, considering so many people are working from home right now, and just on the computer, whatever you happen to be doing. It's just a great way to open up. Okay, so to begin, please come onto all fours. And then instead of sinking your hips back into child's pose, what you're going to do is you're going to keep your hips like kind of like over in line with the knees. So stretch your arms as far forward as you can stretch them. I want you to keep the arm bones lifting up, keep the armpits hollowing out. Take a big full breath. And then as you exhale, continue to let the weight of the chest bring a deeper stretch. So you can play with walking your hands a little bit wider apart. You can let the head and neck drop down. So even though we're using the weight of the torso to facilitate like more depth here, I want you to continue lifting the arm bones up. And breathe fully across the back body. Last breath. Good, and then slowly come up, bring one hand back at a time. And so we'll come into the same position with just a little bit of a difference. So I'm gonna have you take the right hand forward, and the left hand comes across the body. So just kind of creep your left fingertips out. And we're not twisting here. What we're doing is we're just giving weight here to that left arm. So the right arm stays long. And we're just allowing the weight of the torso to bring a pretty good sensation to that left shoulder. You can see if you like the left palm to face up or down, a little bit of a different feeling. Good, and then slowly come up and we'll switch sides. So now the left arm is out and the right arm comes across the body. So there's a lot of compression here through the chest, the breast tissue, which is a really kind of healthy thing to have that compression there. And you can start to play around with whether you like the palm up or down. And give your weight here to the stretch. Good, last breath. And slowly come up and come to all fours. Okay, from here, just shift your weight back now, come into child's pose, take your hands, interlace them behind you, and just let them rest somewhere on the low back. And come to your forehead. So you can stay right here and just kind of let the spine round, or stay here, take a big full breath in. And then as you exhale from the crown of the head and lift the arms up. So draw the shoulders up out of the ears. The spine has a sensation of like a child meets cat pose. So there's some weight on the crown of the head, but what you can do is counter that by lifting the shoulders up away from the ears and keeping the neck nice and long. Good, take one last breath. And then exhale, release, come all the way down. Stretch your arms forward. Good, look forward and watch your fingers go a little bit closer to the top edge of your mat. And then walk your hands over to the left. And you might even continue to kind of creep your right fingertips just a little further forward. And just getting deeper into the side body, kind of underneath that shoulder blade. And come back to center. Just pause for a full breath in and out. Good, and then walk the hands to the opposite side. You can start to feel that you can create some space between the ribs, like right into the intercostal muscles here. Good, come back to center, take a full breath. Full breath out. Good. And then come up to your belly. So you might come through forearms first, just kind of a Sphinx pose. Kind of it's a really nice, like soft back bend, right? So it doesn't require a whole lot, but there's a nice amount of compression for the low back. So take a big full breath in. Good, and then as you exhale, come down, and I'm gonna have you scoot over to the left edge of your mat and send your right arm straight out to the right. So the middle finger's in line with the collarbone. Your left hand, I always think about this as the gas pedal. You press your left hand down, roll onto the left side. Excuse me, roll to your right side, and let your left foot come to the floor. Good, so for me, it doesn't feel good to let my head and neck drop down. I usually will just kind of keep it just kind of neutral. You can get a little bit of a twist here by letting that left foot creep a little further out to the left. And come back. My feeling is that in trying to mirror you here, I'm going to make a lot of right and left flubs. We're on the other side, so bring your body over to the right side of the mat, stretch your left arm out. Middle finger's in line with your collarbone. Press that right hand down, and as you roll over to the left side, keep walking your fingertips further away. Good, and that right foot comes to the floor, and you can let that leg kind of drop open a little bit. It's going to bring a little more rotation to the lumbar spine, the very base of the spine. Last breath. And then slowly come back and just kind of realign the body on your mat. Okay, we're going to roll onto the right side. So I'll show you here. So we've got the knees stacked, and we're going to let the shoulder really creep up to the ear. So you have this kind of like sideline hammock position here. And we get some space between the intercostal muscles, which are accessory breathing muscles. So it feels like you might be able to kind of take a fuller, deeper breath after we open up here. Good, one last breath. And then just do the exact opposite of where you were. Press away. Okay, so we're going to come all the way down to lie on the right side. Bring your left arm up, and I'm actually going to show you from here, just so you get a better view. Left arm is up, and then you're going to flip so the palm faces behind you. Bend the elbow, and take the hand to the sacrum. Now you can stay just like this, or you can begin to take the hand and bring it up more so it's kind of like the back of the hand is really resting on the shoulder blade, the opposite shoulder blade. And this might be enough, or you can roll onto your back, right? And then use your feet to lift and realign your hips. And yogi's choice, maybe you just take a moment and let the feet come together, knees wide. And so we're not taking a full cow face posture, right? But you can, if you'd like, bend that right arm and just let the head rest on the forearm. So don't think about connecting your fingers. It doesn't have to happen. We're going to just take a moment, use the weight of the body to get deeper into the shoulder joint. Good, stand your feet back up. Extend your right arm, roll back onto your side, and press yourself back up. Okay, so coming to the other side. So coming to this side lying position here. So like a side cone, the knees are bent, the legs are stacked. Let the shoulder really creep up to the ear. You let the chin drop to the chest. This is one of my favorite postures. It just kind of, I don't know, to me, it's just really soothing. I also feel like the longer I'm here, the more space I get in my side body. And then press away, just doing the exact opposite. Okay, so coming now to lie on the left side. And you can use your left bicep as a little pillow. Stretch your right arm up and then flip so palm faces back, bend the elbow. Get the back of the hand to the sacrum. You might just stay right here, right? This might be the depth you need. Or you take the hand and you bring it to that opposite shoulder blade. Again, you can stay or roll onto your backs. You're most likely going to have to lift your hips and realign. Option to bring soles of feet down, let legs come wide. Second option, the arm that's not underneath you, stretch it up, and then you can lift up the head, bend the elbow, and let the head rest on that little pillow of the forearm. Good. Take one last breath. And full breath out. And then stand the knees back up. Stretch the arm long. Roll back onto your side. Good. And nice and slowly press yourself back up. Okay. So from here, just a cross-legged position. You can stretch your right fingertips out. I'm actually going to show you here. So you'll stretch your right fingertips out, take your left arm to the side, let your thumb be up to begin, and then flip it so your thumb is down. Bend the elbow and take the back of the hand once again to the sacrum. We'll take a big full breath in. And then as you exhale, let the right ear drop to the right shoulder, and feel free to walk your right fingertips a little further away. Good, last breath. And then slowly come back up. And I'm going to take your hands and interlace them. So your right hand is kind of in charge. It's going to pull the left forearm across the body, and then you're going to squeeze your elbows towards each other. And your knuckles as one are reaching forward to the wall that you're looking at. You're squeezing your elbows together. Good, and release. Okay, creep the left fingertips out, right arm is straight out, thumb starts up, and then we internally rotate. So thumb rotates down, bend the elbow, and take the back of the hand to the sacrum or to the low back. If you'd like, drop the left ear to the left shoulder. Sometimes you have to explore a little bit. Sometimes you have to lift your chin slightly up, bring it slightly down till you find neutral. Good, last breath. And then slowly come back up to neutral for the head and neck. And this time the left hand kind of guides the right forearm across the low back. And then you'll squeeze your elbows towards each other. Good, last breath. Good, and release. Okay, so from here, I want you to please bend your right knee and keep the right foot on the floor, and the left knee is bent, just kind of like a cross-legged seated position. So you can use your left hand just as a little bit of support. Reach your right arm up, and then take the right arm inside the leg, okay? I want you to take the thumb inside the palm and wrap the fingers around. You're gonna bend the elbow like you're gonna kind of like tap yourself in the belly, and then for a moment you have to break at the wrist, just kind of bend at the wrist to get the hand, I'll show you here, to get the hand somewhere to the low back. Now, instead of keeping the wrist bent, see if you can have a long line from elbow to knuckles. You can really use that leg, so let me spin back around. You can really use this leg to press in, just like a pretty nice amount of stretch here. Good, release and come out. Okay, same thing other side. So the left foot comes to the floor, the right hand is just there for a little support. Reach your left arm up. And then bring it forward, get the upper arm kind of tucked inside the inner knee here, thumb inside, palm, fingers wrap around. So it's like you're gonna tap yourself in the belly, but then you're just gonna break at the wrist, which means like bend the wrist for a second. So you can get the hands to where you can lean through a little bit. And then once you have it, come back up. So long line, elbow now to knuckles. You can really use the power of the leg to squeeze that arm in closer to you. It's called funky chicken. Good, and release. All right. All right, so from here, go ahead and stretch your left leg straight and bend your right knee. And you can take your left hand, like meaty part of calf, ankle, big toe amount, it doesn't matter. The right hand, the fingers come to the chest, the thumb comes behind. Good, and we're just taking these really big circles. And you can really feel there's a nice amount of side body lengthening, and you can feel into the rotation of the rib cage here as you lift the elbow up and let it have a full range of motion. Good, last time circling around. And then we'll come through that motion one more time, and this time we'll just hold that arm up. And I want you to stretch from the center of the chest. You might even feel this deep into that left bicep, just opening up. I want you to really rotate through the chest. Maybe the gaze is up. Good, release. Come to the other side. So right leg is long, left knee bent. Hand can just kind of anchor somewhere. fingertips more to the chest than behind you. And just take that elbow and circle it. Good. The next time you circle around, pause and just hold that position. And really lengthen the elbow away from the opposite hand. A little rotation through the torso. Good. And then come back and release. Okay. From here, take your hands and bring them to the floor and then send them out like sideways. So fingers are towards the long edges of the mat, and then bring them back so the hands face the shins. And from the, really from the shoulder blades, just kind of press down. Good. You can let the chin relax down. This might give you a little bit more stretch to the upper back. Let the chin drop towards the chest. Okay. And release. Okay. So the last thing we'll do is we'll come down into a twisting position. I just want to kind of show you. So our hands are going to be doing this motion. When we do this, I feel like I'm doing a magic trick, right? And so it doesn't have to be much. It can be this much, and then we pull back. It doesn't have to be a lot, okay? You're going to really feel this in the shoulder blades. So when you're ready, I'm trying to think. I think I'll show you this way. So come down onto your backs. And just hug your knees into your chest. And go ahead and drop the legs to the right and just come into what feels like a neutral twist here. Take a full breath. And then as you exhale, go ahead and take the left hand and stack it on top of the right. So if you had something to like a blanket you could rest your head on, please do. Or for me, I just kind of let my head hover. So we're going to take those left fingertips. We're going to stretch them forward of the right hand. And then draw back, kind of slide it slightly up the forearm. We'll press it forward and draw back. Good. It doesn't have to be much. In fact, this is from the Feldenkrais method. And in the Feldenkrais method, you really move, it's almost like imperceptible the amount you move. However, for this application, I really like to kind of get a nice range of motion. Good. So slide the fingertips all the way forward. And this time, as you slide them back, slide them all the way up the forearm, up the upper arm, across the chest, and come into your twist here. You might have to kind of lift your upper back and just kind of rearrange a little bit. Good. Nice full breath in. And full breath out. Good. Draw the knees back to center. And rock a couple times side to side, and then drop the knees to the left and take your right arm and stack it on top of the left. So just rearrange myself here. So the right fingertips slide forward and slide back. And we slide forward and slide back. It's a really nice kind of movement for that shoulder blade. Good. Slide forward and slide back. We'll do that twice more, sliding forward, sliding back. Good, this time slide forward. And then as you slide back, slide the hand all the way up the forearm, the upper arm, across the chest, and come into your twist. I usually kind of rearrange my spine and my skull on the floor. Last breath. And then slowly just roll back onto your side and take a moment to press yourself back to your feet. Okay, so ending with a neck stretch. So the neck is such a delicate instrument, really kind of just use your own discretion here as far as the depth that you want. So go ahead and take the left fingertips and reach them out. And drop the left ear to the left shoulder. Now you can just let your right hand rest wherever you like. You could also let the right hand out. And so you want to feel for a moment into what feels like neutral. And then from here, the ear stays in the direction of the shoulder. You just begin to lift your chin up. You get a nice amount of stretch and lengthening for the throat. And then go ahead and just drop that chin down towards the collarbone. Okay, then let the head and neck come back to center. Roll the shoulders open and back. Same thing other side. So the right fingertips move to the right. You can let the right ear drop to the right shoulder. And then just feel almost as if something is catching our gaze. We're beginning to just lift the chin up towards the ceiling. Good, and then slowly drop it down. Chin more towards collarbone. And then let the head and neck come back to neutral and roll your shoulders open and back. Okay, the last thing, I want you to take, so I'm just kind of moving my straps out of the way. Take your left hand to the right side chest and take your right hand on top. So we're actually just using the hands, we're kind of pressing the hand into the body and then the opposite hand down to stretch the skin down and away. We're going to look over towards the left. And then if you want, you can begin to slightly lift the chin just a bit. Good. Come back to neutral, release. Same thing. So right hand comes to left side chest, left hand on top. Press the hand into the body, draw the skin down, and then send your gaze over. You can slightly lift the chin. Come back to neutral. Okay. Release. Let your chin drop towards your chest. Let it be nice and heavy. And then you can take the hands, and it doesn't have to be a close interlace. You can just kind of rest them on the back of the head. Let your elbows drop down towards each other. Good, and then inhale, press the bones of the skull in the palms, look up. Exhale, elbows come back together. Chin drops. Good, inhale, bones of the skull press into the palms to open up the chest. And exhale, release. Last time, inhale. And stay just like this, just pressing the arm bones back behind. You can release the hands. This time, interlace them behind you, lift them up away from the body and fold forward. Let the spine round. Good, inhale, come up. And release. All right, one final thing. That's one of my favorites. So what we're doing is we are placing the forearm up, and we're going to use the knee and then the elbow to get deep into the forearm. So from all fours, go ahead and take your right forearm and place it palm facing up. So you're going to just creep your knees in closer and closer. Your left knee will lift, and you're going to take the knee and give some weight, press into that forearm, and then travel down the length of the forearm close to the wrist. When you get closer to the wrist, you're going to find that your fingers are going to curl in a little bit. And then walk it back towards the elbow. Good. And release, and just kind of shake that out. Okay, other side. So left forearm faces up, palm is up. Walk your knees closer, closer, closer. Now, we've got the left arm down. Use your right knee to kind of mash in. Walk that knee down towards the wrist. The fingers are going to curl in. You're going to walk it back up. Yeah, use as much weight as you'd like here. Okay. Release and just shake it out. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to use the elbow to get pretty deep into some of the tissue here. So coming back down, we're palm facing down with that right forearm up. Now you're going to use the left elbow. So you can use the chin on the elbow, or you can just let that forearm kind of be what it is. You're going to press down and wiggle around a little bit. So press down and wiggle. And it's funny, like some of these spots are so painful, it almost like makes you want to laugh. Oh my goodness, you can like be curious and explore. And when you find somewhere, just dig deep. Okay, make sure you travel up and down, and then we'll come back, neutral all fours, and come to the other side. So again, you could do chin resting in palm, or for me, I feel like I get a little more leverage when I just let that forearm kind of be parallel to the mat. And dig in here. Yeah, take one more breath. Slowly. Okay, just kind of slide your knees forward. Come to all fours. All right. Take your hands together, the center of the chest. Close your eyes. Take a nice big full breath in. Pause and hold at the top. Exhale, let it go. Namaste, yogis.